Good evening, gentlemen. It's Steady Eddie here. It's 11:30 in the evening. It's approximately 24 hours since I got back home. Anyway, so that's what's happened in the last 24 hours. Not much. Okay, I'll just read out some names here. First of all, can everyone hear me? Everything is all kosher, the webcam and everything. Dutch Farang, good evening. Dan Travelaki, Let's Explore Bangkok. Joey Roberts, David Coleman, nice to hear from you, mate. Thomas Hancock, John Kay, okay, nice to hear from you. Stuart Marsden, Daniel Mills, Dutch Farang, and David Coleman. David Coleman, I guess you're hot as hell. Well, no, not really, because I mean, during the time that I was traveling, I heard all of this stuff about Britain being like a furnace and everyone was burning up and all that. Well, I actually was very apprehensive when I stepped off the plane at Luton Airport yesterday afternoon. And when I stepped off the plane, it was quite cloudy and there was a nice pleasant breeze going through. And yesterday evening, when I was doing a stop-off point on the long coach journey back, I was actually wearing a coat, a jacket. I actually put my jacket on yesterday evening, so I've missed all the red hot weather. Bernard Purcell, be more on. Nice to hear from you, mate. Miso, Thomas Hancock, Ian Hart, Wayne Kerr. Let's see. Wayne Kerr, Stephen Gamble. Let's Explore Bangkok. Okay, have a nice journey, mate. David Mayer. Here's Eddie. Nice to hear from you, mate. Jamie296. Eel Hannah. Be more on. Sounds good. Okay, that's good. Actually, I still think my ears haven't popped yesterday. I'm not hearing right. From when you step off a plane and, a couple of hours later, all of a sudden your hearing comes back. I still can't hear properly. David Coleman now start editing some videos for us. Get away. There will be a couple of videos on, for my recent travels. One of them from the Black Sea coast, just to show you what the Black Sea, because I didn't really make a video from that place. Very family-orientated place that I went, that Marmia, so it wouldn't appeal to everyone. And also maybe a video from, reviewing how expensive Romania was, that sort of thing. There's still stuff to do. Be more on there. Nice to have you, mate. Been watching your videos and your live streams from Pattaya. Sounds good, mate. Looks good. Bernard Purcell, all good. Lee James. Ichigo, is Blighty Brighton? No, Blighty is one of those names that they give to England. I mean, good old Blighty. I think why they call Britain Blighty is because Blighty means, blustery and, windy and, wet and windy, that sort of stuff. And that's not far off the truth right now. Tom Streeter, Ty Z, nice to have you, mate. A Nomad Overseas. Good man, Ed, back in Blighty. Have you stocked up on pork pies and done a supply run to the co-op? Do you know something? Before I went away for a month, I cleared out all the food, everything that was in the freezer. I cleared out all the food from my place. And really, I should have left some tins though. I came back last night and I'd managed to stop off at on a coach stop at a convenience store. So I got a couple of pot noodles. But it's a good job I got there because I've got no food to eat. No, today I got online and I've ordered 200 quid's worth of stuff from Asda. Okay, that's alcohol and food. 200 quid's worth. That should last me the next. I should get the next month out of that, really. The problem is it's coming tomorrow. I didn't have a great deal of food in my place today. So fortunately, a friend of mine, give me a lift up to the co-op. And, I managed to get some barbecued chicken. Otherwise, I would have starved today. Let me see. I am Tilt. Nice to hear from you. Great videos from Romania, Ed. Okay. I am so great videos from Romania. Thanks for that, mate. Anyway, look, the Romanian videos, they didn't get that many views. They weren't, groundbreakers in terms of views. But I thought they went down well. I was limited with that mobile phone that I had, even though it was proven its worth for a lot of things. I was limited with that mobile phone because the editing system on it was quite good, but it was pretty basic. And there's also a problem with that editing system I was using on that phone. Is adding music to the videos because you have a list of stuff of music that you can use, and I just assumed it was copyright free. It bloody wasn't. It wasn't. That CapCut, some of that music he uses is not copyright free, because I was told by YouTube to take one of my videos down. But a big thanks to everyone who watched those videos. Anyway, some went down better than others, but there's a couple more to come anyway. Billy, Jolly Fox, Gemini Star, nice to hear from you. Billy Bob, back in time to cast your vote for the new Conservative leader and PM. Well, we don't cast a vote. We don't get a say in who the new leader's going to be. That's up for the Conservative members to decide all of that. But don't they all look a bit dull? I mean, Boris. Boris is one of those. How did he become a prime minister or mayor of London in the first place? I think he's better than what we give him credit for. I do think that. I think he's probably better than what we give him credit for. I mean, he looks like and sounds like a bumbling clown, but he's probably very, very intelligent. And he was prime minister at a very, very, very difficult time. He had to deal with things that other prime ministers have never had to really deal with. Brexit and the anti-virus for 2 years. No other prime minister has ever had to deal with stuff like that. So I thought he was all right, but sooner or later he's going to put his foot in it. But as for the ones that are standing, you're down to Ricky Wishy Washy or whatever his name is, and Liz Truss, who I've never even heard of before. But whatever. I mean, they're not exciting. Whoever the next prime minister is going to be is not going to be very exciting. I know that much. Let's see. Tampa Guy 35. Thank you for that. Hit the likes. I am Tilt. Love the toilet trip video. Oh, it is nice to be back, with my own bathroom here. David Mayer, to avoid ear pop and chew gum on the plane. I never thought of that. Thanks for that tip anyway. Let me see. David Coleman, what did you do with your night piss bottle? Oh, that will be revealed in a video. I will reveal that in a video. Thank God for the plastic bottle. Ty say, be more honest, it's just not hot here this time. Don't come back here. Ty say, be more honest, it's just not as hot here as Thailand. Don't come back there. Be more wrong. Looks like he's having a great time there. If you haven't checked out his live streams, he's done some good live streams, from the bars in Pattaya. Go and check out Be More Wrong. I'll put his name on the screen there because he's a really good guy. He's there somewhere anyway. I'll see his name anyway. Okay, seem to have lost it. Anyway, that's his name, Be More Ron. A big shout out to Be More Ron. He's doing some great videos from Thailand, really is. Gemini Star, Eddie, I hope you have a pleasant return back to good old Blighty. Actually, the plane journey was good. It all went like clockwork, and there was less people. There wasn't so much, screaming families and all that kind of stuff on the plane this time. There was quite a lot of seats. So the flight back was very, very comfortable. The coach journey, I mean, there was a few delays along the way, but it still got me back in time. So yeah, it all went smoothly. Can't fault it. Colin Gage, nice to hear from you, mate. 200 quid's worth. What's that? 2 packets of Lurpak. Yeah, that's about what you get for 200 quid nowadays. Do you know what? I think is it my 3rd or 4th going online, to get stuff from Mazda. And it's become like a bit of a sport. I mean, before it's arriving tomorrow morning, my 200 quid's worth of grub. But before it comes, there's always an email to say, sorry, we haven't got these items. We have replaced them with these items. I wonder which ones they're going to be. I've still got a few tins of those low sugar baked beans in the cupboard. I've got them there. I don't like them. I didn't ask for them. Yeah, so. And what was it? Last time I ordered 2 boxes of real ales. They said, we've only got one. This is bloody Asda, a huge store. They're supposed to have everything in stock. So, no, that's 200 quid. There's alcohol. About half of it's alcohol. Usually most of it's alcohol. It's alcohol. It's lasagnas. It's steaks. So yeah, I've got some nice steaks there on the way. Jack of potatoes. What else? And an awful lot of tin stuff. Pies and stuff like that. And that's the kind of thing that I should have kept before I went away. And then I would have had at least something to come back to eat anyway. Tom Streeter, loved the Romania videos. Well, thanks for all those. I mean, in terms of viewing figures, they weren't mega. I mean, they're probably a minority interest, but because most of my channel is based in Southeast Asia. But to those who watch them, they seem to enjoy them. So thanks for that. There's still a couple more videos to come. Promise you that. I didn't. Also, that lovely town of Sibiu. That was the most beautiful town. There's going to be a video of that somewhere. David Mayer, did you gain weight on your trip? No, to be honest with you, I think I actually lost a couple of pounds. I mean, I didn't actually, because I did a lot of walking. I was walking on the beach. I was walking. Yeah, I did a lot of walking. So I think I probably lost a couple of pounds. Oh, let's see. Singapore Dan, enjoyed your videos. Thanks, mate. Cheers for that. Let's see. And Nomad overseas. So you've ordered 20 quid's worth of pot noodles and 180 quid's worth of lunatic soup. Okay, fine. Thank you. Gary Hughes, nice to hear from you. Welcome home, amigo. Thanks for that, mate. Anyway. And Nomad overseas. Boris always reminded me of the Honey Monster with an upper crust accent. That's a very, very good. That's a very, very good way of describing it. The Honey Monster. I don't actually remember the Honey Monster. I remember the Cookie Monster. Cookies. Yeah, that sounds like Boris. David Mayer, which beer is better, Romanian or English? Which country has the best beer? I think whoever makes Kronenberg. Some say it's German. I mean, I think Kronenberg. Kronenberg's good. What I was drinking a lot of, I think it's an Italian beer, Beer Moretti. I was drinking a lot of that in Romania, and that's very, very nice. The actual Romanian beer itself is not really good, but that Bergen beer that I drank at a beach bar, that was lovely. That was beautiful. This is Crony I'm drinking now, by the way. David Coleman, your Dracula Castle video was very best. Thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate that. I enjoyed doing that one anyway. I really did. Like you say, I mean, it's not a major interest to people, but I did enjoy doing that one. And it's another one to tick off, the bucket list. And I've been to Dracula's Castle, and whether it's the real thing or not, is another matter. Anyway, Danish Bacon, nice to hear from you. Hi, hello, Eddie. Welcome home. Nice to hear from you, mate. Okay, nice to hear from you too as well, Danish Bacon. Great to hear from you, mate. Hope all's well. Ty Z, Americans generally like Boris because we care more about UK's global issues, positions like Ukraine, and less about internal scandals. That's probably the. I can believe this. Am I not right in thinking that there are still probably a lot of Americans who perceive British people as crazy, over-the-top eccentrics, and I'm sure that's the case. So Boris certainly fits that. He comes across as this crazy eccentric, like you get in an old movie or whatever. But I can understand where you're coming from, mate. You care more about the UK's global issues and positions. less about internal scandals. I mean, it wasn't the classic case of that. Bill Clinton. I mean, well, Bill Clinton was not having sex with that. Well, what when Bill Clinton was strutting his funky stuff with Monica Lewinsky. It was a scandal, but he stayed in power. In Britain, our British BBC done a program on Panorama, the Panorama documentary, and their verdict was trial by television. Would you believe? Their verdict was that if Bill Clinton was a British Prime Minister with those same scandals, he wouldn't have been allowed to remain in power. He would have been thrown out of office. Big ups to the Americans, because as you say, Ty Z, less about it. I mean, who cares if he's knocking off a bit of trailer trash or whatever the hell she was. The Americans seem to be happy with the economy, and at the end of the day, that's the important thing. I mean, us in Britain, we strive for the perfect prime minister. We're never going to get him. There's no such thing as a perfect politician. So stop looking for one. Having said that, the people who were in line, it's down to Ricky Wishy-Washy and Liz Truss, who I've never heard of before. I mean, I've seen Liz Truss. She's got that sleepy kind of just got out of bed look. And I've seen her on the news earlier. She's actually gone ahead in the polls now, to become the next prime minister. And I seen her on the news today, and she basically beefed herself up. She said, with me, what you see is what you see is what you get. And I looked and I thought, well, I see someone who looks like a Wonga. She looks like one of those old women who goes out to Turkey or Gambia for a bit of the gigolo sausage. That's what she looks like to me. But I could be wrong. Pinball, good to see you back home, Ed. Thanks for that, mate. Cheers. Danish Bacon. The Boris when he was London Mayor was hilarious. What do you think he won two? He won two terms, didn't he? I think he beat Ken Livingstone. Let's see. Who's this now? Tom Streeter. Food prices are going through the roof, Eddie. Oh, well. I think I'm only going by what I shopped in Asda. It doesn't look, from what I'm doing the shopping with, it doesn't look that significantly bad. It doesn't look that bad. It's probably gone up a bit, but not that much. I mean, don't forget, if you multi-buy at Asda shopping online, then you tend to get things a little teensy-weensy bit cheaper. I mean, for what I shop for 200 quid, I think that could last me a month, really. So that seems to be pretty good value. Danish Bacon, you can refuse to substitute from Asda when they deliver. I do all of them. I don't blame you, mate. I mean, a massive place like that, it used to be owned by Walmart. I don't know if it still is, but a place like that. And this is going to be my fourth shop at Asda, and I love the idea. You feel so much in control. I love the idea of going on this laptop and looking at what Asda's got to offer. I'll have this, that, 2 packets of that. 3 jars of coffee, you feel so much in control, but you lose that control the following day when they send you that bloody email saying, sorry, mate, but some of those items you've ordered, we haven't got them anymore, so you're going to have this. Stephen Forex, nice to hear from you, mate. Those beans have probably got up in value. Jesus, that'll be an investment, wouldn't it? Buy loads of tins of baked beans, hoard them all, and then sell them on for a profit, a few months later. Okay. Poppycorn, great to see you back, Ed. Nice to hear from you, mate. Great to see you back, Ed. Keep me past my bedtime, but always worth it. What was the highlight of your trip? The highlight of my trip? Whoa. It was Romania, for the 4 weeks that I was there. It was very, very relaxed, very, very safe country. The highlights of my trip, I pick out 2 highlights. One of them was a little excursion I'd done to Dracula's castle. I know that it was, it's not as authentic as it should be, but it was still a great experience, and I really, really enjoyed that. I felt good, doing stuff like that. And another highlight was that I know I didn't make an actual video of it, but I will make a video of it. The absolutely beautiful town called Sibiu. That is a stunning little town. It's very medieval, very historical, and that was the little town with all the eyes, and the rooftops of the building. That was a lovely, lovely place. So that was a big highlight. I really, really enjoyed that. Nice to hear from you anyway, Popcorn. Let's see. Mazza, good to see you back safe and sound, Eddie. You're a proper traveller. Thank you, mate, anyway. Last year, 7 months I've travelled the last year. So anyone who says that I'm not a proper traveller, total of 7 months. Yeah, give and take a few days. Greece, Turkey, Thailand, Romania. Total's actually about 7 months in the last year. So yeah, I still like me travel. Pele, nice to hear from you. Evening, Eddie. Good time to travel to Pattaya in the end of August for a couple of weeks, or is it better to delay for some months? If you're up for it, you're up for it. I mean, if you really want to do that, the end of August. I mean, that will be the low season, and the word is from everyone, even some of the bar owners there. I know it's like Nick Dean and a couple of other people have said it is very, very quiet out there because what's happened with Pattaya, because they started relaxing all the rules. Those bloody dreaded anti-virus rules, PCR and all that rubbish. Ran about May. Then there was a flood of guys who went out there who hadn't been out there for a long time. But now they've been out there, and I think now it's going into low season. I seen an interview with Nick and Martin, or actually a video with Nick and Martin, and Nick said it's quiet now. It's very quiet. It'll probably pick up around about September, and Martin said it'll probably pick up more like November. I'd go with November, really. I think that's when. I think from now to the next peak season, I think it'll be very quiet there. But yeah, but then again, Pele. Then again, look at it this way, mate. A good time to travel to Pattaya. Right now, you can travel there really without any problems. And I hear the bars are open and there's not many tourists around, so it could be not a bad time. You never know. Come the next peak season, we might be back to square one. There might be another variant that's crept out of the woodwork by then. So yeah, if you want to do that, good for you. David Coleman, I just did not like the bar videos, the way to get you. But that was strange. That was strange. That they tend to blow hot and cold in Rome. It's a very young population there, and I was a bit out of place, really. You go to the bars, they tend to be a very, very young population, and you don't meet other. They're not used to British people. You can tell that. I mean, the way you would, if you went to Spanish resorts or Greece, they're used to British people. And then I was at treat the customer, whereas Romanians, they looked at me as if to think, he looks a bit out of place. What's he doing there? So their attitude towards like British tourists, they haven't really caught on to tourism. Don't forget, it wasn't that long ago that Romania went into the EU. That was, well, I think it was 2004, was it? So that is a fair while ago. But before that, that was a communist country. So it's not like Spain or Greece who've got it, or Turkey who've got a long, standing, empathy for British tourists. But funny enough, that bar that you mentioned, David, where I was waiting a long time, and I felt that they were bloody ignoring me, during that live stream. That was Dean's Irish Bar in Brasov. Funnily enough, the next time I went there, I was served by a different guy, and they were brilliant. There was a totally different attitude, for a totally different attitude, and I got served straight away and without a problem. So it takes a while to get used to a place like Romania, but when I got used to it, it was good. Stephen Forex can't eat money after all, absolutely. And as the Beatles said, money can't buy me love. It can buy me a bloody good dirty massage, that much. DQ, the only thing I've noticed is milk has gone up and the diesel will cost another 30 quid to fill the Honda. Oh, Christ almighty. Fuel bloody awful. I'm not driving at the moment. I'm not driving because I've still got my car parked on the driveway, but I'm not driving because, like I said, I've been away for about 7 months in the last year. I'm not going to pay full whack for the car that's just sitting around doing nothing, basically. So, I've got no enthusiasm for driving, to be honest with you. Danish bacon. The new Bitcoin is beans. Absolutely, mate. We're stuck up on baked beans before they all run out or go up in price. Absolutely. Oh. Mazza, P.S. Did you come across any hairy beavers? No, didn't even come across a bear. I thought I was going to come across a bear, when I went up that mountain, but never happened. David Mayer, you seem very happy at Dracula's castle. It was enthusiasm. It was good fun. It was good fun. It was entertaining, and I enjoyed it. And I like doing things. I like to be able to say, at the end of the day, that I've done something, and I quite kind of enjoyed it. Jeff Ives, Cronenberg is French. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some say it's German, some say it's French. I always thought it was Belgian, personally. Stephen Forex, that castle looked amazing. I'd like to visit there too. Top views. Actually, I like castles. But they don't always get a big interest on the YouTube channel. They're not really a big winner, but that one seems to be okay. But there's other castles in Romania, like the Pele's Castle, and also another one, Corbin Castle or whatever. But I never really got round. I was very, very laid back, and I was a little bit too lazy to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do. But some of the towns that I went to, they were a highlight in themselves. Dutch Farang, the best beer is in the Netherlands. Well, that's an unbiased opinion, isn't it, Dutch? Are we talking about Carlsberg there? Carlsberg isn't my favourite, but I do like the Carlsberg export. There's plenty of that coming from Asda tomorrow. A nomad overseas. Danish bacon, believe it or not, there's actually a crypto project called Baked Beans. Jesus, that's going to do well for the ozone layer, isn't it? But apparently, cows are destroying the ozone layer. It's all the methane coming from cows. That's just cows and baked beans. Too much of that, we will be having problems. D Cook, I'm on 1664. I get cases of it delivered. Well, that's what this is here. This is 1664. I'm getting about 3 of them delivered tomorrow, amongst other things. So anyway, 70 people in the chat. I know this is a bit late. I arrived back here 24 hours ago. The flight, from Bucharest to Romania, Wizz Air. I would recommend Wizz Air. Very, very cheap. Once you get online, I mean, I ended up paying, a little bit more to select the seat. I know some people say if you leave it too late, they'll give you the seat anyway, but I wasn't complaining. That actual flight overall, with no checked-in baggage, just carry-on baggage, that flight was £36.50 return. I spent 26 quid on my first selected seat and about 19 quid on the one coming home. So what's that? That was 45 quid plus £36.50. So it was just over about 81 quid return, including the seats. I thought that was bloody good value. And a Wizz Air, I would recommend them. Yeah, they're pretty good. David Coleman, Bitcoin has took another dive. What's the future of Bitcoin? I mean, it was going up. I still don't trust it. I've never invested in any cryptocurrency. I've researched it. I have researched it, but it's a whopping big gamble. It is a whopping big gamble. Some intelligent people say, it's the way forward and it's the way of the future. Whereas, you talk to other intelligent people and they'll say, what? I wouldn't even consider it. It's like a roulette wheel, really, I think. That's just the way I look about it. Joey Roberts, when you're going back to Thailand then? Well, right now, I mean, I'm not going right now. I didn't mean it to sound that way. I'm looking at later this year. Don't forget, I've done 4 months in Thailand at the start of this year, and that's still very much fresh in my mind. So I think for the next few months, just relax and do as little as possible, really. But I'll be looking at maybe later in the year. But the fact is that I have heard reports that a lot of those bars, the go-go bars, are back in full swing now, which would be nice to see in Pattaya. But there's not many customers there, so I think autumn time, later on in the year, I would have thought. D. Cook, Bitcoin is a disaster. Jesus, I mean, it seemed like not long ago people were saying Bitcoin. I mean, I wish I'd invested in Bitcoin a few years ago, and now it'd be an absolute fortune. And now it seems to be going down, down, down. I don't know. It's too much of a gamble for me. Stephen Forex, I prefer trust over wishy-washy, but like neither. She's actually overnight. She seems to have gone ahead. Now it's a 2-horse race. She's the one that's well ahead, isn't she? And I don't know what she's about. I've seen a couple of brief interviews with her, and she doesn't come across as the most commanding of personality. But I don't think wishy-washy would. I don't think be very popular. I think he's got too many skeletons in the closet. His billionaire wife's, lack of, paying the tax and all this kind of stuff. There's too many skeletons and controversy about his wealth and his ritual. I mean, was that an arranged marriage, by the way? They look like a very, very glamorous couple, him and his wife, when you see them. They're drinking champagne or whatever. I mean, was that an arranged marriage? Because that's what they have, isn't it? The Indians, they have arranged marriage, and it would have been interesting to see, if he does become prime minister, maybe curry will be our national dish, in Britain, and that would be interesting. But I don't think wishy-washy will be good. If he did become prime minister, because the MPs voted for him. Come the general election in a couple of months' time, in a couple of years' time, a general election, I don't think he will be popular in a general election, simply because I don't think he will be popular with the silent conservative voters. Have you ever noticed there's been a lot of elections where Labour has been in the lead in the polls, and then come the day of voting, the Conservatives go ahead. Why and when? Why is that? It's because of these silent conservative voters. They are the people, the old conservative stalwarts who keep their mouths shut, but come the day of the election, they actually go out and vote. Whereas a lot of people who say, I think the Conservatives, they don't actually vote on the day. The silent Conservative voters, they will actually come out and vote on the day. They will actually go to their polling booths. But these people tend to be old-fashioned Conservatives, and I do not think, I've got to be careful the way I say this, I do not think wishy-washy would bode well with them, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so send me peace on that one. Stephen Forex, have you been down to the co-op yet for supplies? Just a brief little visit. I actually got barbecued chicken. I actually got some barbecued chicken and frozen fries out of the co-op today, because I'd already ordered. I went online and early today, and I ordered the 200 quid's worth of stuff for a Mazda, which is coming tomorrow. But then, I looked around and I've got soda, I've got beer. I've got brandy, but I've got sod also. I've got a bit of tin fish and whatever. So I got a friend to drop me off at the co-op, and I managed to get some barbecued chicken. So I have had a decent meal today. But like I say, I'll be looking forward to all me goodies coming tomorrow. Matthew Cartwright, nice to hear from you, mate. Evening all. I was just about to go to bed, but might have another beer. Cheers. Okay, good for you, mate. Anyway, I don't want to keep you up. It's this is just a little impromptu live stream, simply because I haven't posted anything on this channel for this channel here for a month now. On my mobile phone, I tried to do a live stream on this, but I'm linked into my YouTube account on another my main account. Every time I get into YouTube, it keeps going to my main channel, the other one. So I wanted to do live streams on this channel, but it doesn't matter now anyway. There will be regular live streams on this channel. Remember, this channel, Steady Eddie Live, is not essentially a travel channel. We'll talk about travel, but we'll also talk about other things as well. But like I say, in future, I will be, doing regular live streams, but at a time when, I'll state the time before, and I won't just turn up. D. Cook, nothing has really gone up much. Well, this is a different opinion, isn't it? Because everyone else is. I haven't driven a car since I come back. I just can't be bothered. My car's got a problem with the gearbox, and I hate cars. I mean, I love them and I hate them. I love them when you are driving through the countryside and you get the windows open and beautiful scenery. I love them then. But all the expenses that go with cars, mechanics bills and all this kind of, I just can't be bothered with it. I can't be bothered with it. And like I say, I'm out the country for about half the year, so I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be paying bills for the car. They're just sitting on the bloody driveway while I'm in Thailand or whatever I am. Gemini Star, it looks like Rishi Sunak is going to be taking the helm. Does it? He was clearly in front. But all of a sudden, well, I've been watching the news about an hour ago, and it looks to me like Liz Truss is become the favourite. That's the way it looks to me. Carl's travelled. For God's sake, Eddie, where does he? But it's right here, mate. What else we got? A little bit more there. Okay. Get it in there. Yes, there we go. Oh, lovely stuff. Oh, lovely stuff. Oh, very, very nice. There we go. Oh, there we go. So, Danish bacon, if you don't watch the news, does your life really change? I mean, that's an important point, that, isn't it? I did see another travel. There was another travel vlogger which I do watch, and it was in Tenerife, and it was a time of the virus and all the other rubbish that's going on, and Brexit and everything. And this travel vlogger said that he feels elated for a reason, and he'll give the reason at the end of the video. And basically, he's promoting Tenerife and saying what a wonderful, wonderful place it is and how much fun it is and all that. And then at the end of the video, he said, "Now I appear something like I appear happy, and the reason that I'm happy is because I don't watch the news. That's the reason that I'm so cheerful. The news just depresses me. It really, really depresses me. So I just don't watch the news these days. I just get on with my life and I don't watch the news." Well, funnily enough, I'm always a bit skeptical about that. I mean, if you don't watch the news, then that means that you don't know what's going on. And what I tend to find is people who say, "I don't watch the news," anything like that, and they seem to know all the names of the politicians. They know all the names of, they don't know all about the current events that's going on. I'm not sure that they're entirely telling the truth. I mean, I used to watch the news and all the news, channels, current affairs programs. I don't watch them now as much as I used to, but you still got to keep in touch in a way. David Mayer, I still like going to the store. Sometimes they have specials. Yeah, the dirty massage parlors in Soy Honey, they have them as well. Nomad Overseas, do some research into the Clintons and the Iran-Contra project. Look at Freeway Ricky Ross, not the rapper. Okay, that sounds interesting. Gemini Star, Rishi Wishy-Washy, spot on, I think, okay? I'm not going to make, no, I'm not going to make any more jokes about, unpolitically correct jokes about him. Stephen Forex, you sure feel better if you switch off the TV. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I like to know what's going on. I mean, some people are not interested in news at all. But I still like to know what's going on. David Mayer, Caroline Monroe was at Monster Mash this year. Well, what is that? Is that a festival for horror festival or something like that? She was in a lot of. Actually, you imagine I've got a bottle of Caroline Monroe coming tomorrow. Lamb's Navy rum. Sounds good. I'm sure she's still a good-looking woman. Stephen Forex can't get over that hotel having no bathroom. I'd like a campsite with toilet buckets. It was something to talk about. It was fun, wasn't it? Though it was a bit of fun. Well, let's put it this way: I was booked to stay in that hotel for 4 nights, and I ended up staying for 7 nights because at the end of the day, one thing about it, when you open that door of a morning and see the Black Sea and the beach and everything out there, it was fantastic to wake up to. It's all part of the adventure. Danish Beg, Stephen Forex. I'm sure there was a bedpan in the room. Just slop out at 6 a.m. Who's that? Gemini Star, Matthew Carter. You will regret having another beer. Just Farang, Eddie, the 150% to 300% rise in flight tickets to Thailand is a problem. Is it really that much? Is it? I'm not so sure it's that much. I mean, I haven't looked at them in the last couple of weeks. The flight tickets. I'm still hearing people saying they're ridiculously expensive. I didn't know it was that much. I'm sure. I'm sure by the time you come to book your flight to Thailand, you won't have to pay 150. I think 150% more to 300%. I'm sure it's. I don't know. I think that problem will sort itself out one way or the other. Gaz 70. Okay, Gaz 77. Okay, I'll leave you to read that one there. Okay. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Pele, thanks a lot, Steady Eddie Live, for answering. You're a different class. Cheers, mate. Okay, thanks for that. So remember, this live stream, this is just, back home anyway. There's no script to this live stream. It's just, it's jet lag. It was 24 hours ago, precisely, that 25 hours ago that I arrived back here. And, to find that I've got beer in the fridge, but no food. So I managed to get a couple of pot noodles anyway. Today's been a lazy day. Tomorrow I've got things to get sorted and whatever. Stephen Forex, like a jail cell, okay? It was like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Like I say, when you in a jail, I'm pretty sure you can't open your door of a morning and see a beautiful beach and the sea out in front of you. I'm pretty sure you can't see that. I am told, right decision not to take the invite from the lady in Romania. Sounded like a scam. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was in Bucharest. She was a nice blonde girl, you know, about 30 years of age. I was sitting at that table. I was having a nice gyros or gyros or gyros or whatever it's called, and some wine or whatever. And you know, she thought, "Oh, I've got one here." She said, "You know, you come with me, and you know, we'll go to a bar or whatever, and your first drink's free and whatever." And she thought she had one there. Sorry, no way, Jose. I'm a bit streetwise for any of that. You can get ripped off big time in a place like Romaine. You know, I mean, you'd have to be really, really, really desperate for a. I mean, what are you going to gain from it? I mean, what would you gain from going with a girl like that anyway? You'd gain nothing. You just get ripped up. Funnily enough, there's another another bar with a live band. Very, very good bar with a live band, which I did show on that video. But right next door to it, there is a club with a closed door, and there was a guy outside and a nice girl with big knockers. She was outside, and the two of them stopped me. You know, they thought, you know, got one here. And the guy said, "Oh, you coming in here, my friend? They're coming into this club here." I said, "Well, I'm actually going into that bar there because the door is right next to where that place with the live band is, and that's the place I was planning on going in." And this girl said, "Oh, you coming in? You coming in?" All that. But I mean, it was a closed door. I don't know what this place offered. It was a closed door club, and why did they want me to go in there? Obviously, a bloody rip off. Just be streetwise. Don't fall to temptations, you know, in places like that. Matthew Cartwright, Gemini, decide to crack open the wine, mate. At least it's Friday tomorrow. Matthew Cartwright's planning on going to bed, but he thought he'll have another beer, and now he's opened a bottle of wine. sounds good. Good for you, mate. What's this? DWP, Eddie Topmonger in Battaya. Do you think so? Do you really, really, really think so? Do you not think that you know, over the years, the novelty of having, you know, loads of women, believe it, it wears off. It wears off. I mean, there's other people who go to a place like Battaya who are, you know, they can't keep it in the pants. As soon as they arrive in the place, you know, they can't keep it in the pants, really. I'm different, mate. I have a laid back attitude. You know, I have a laid back. I'm not like that at all. Not far from it. Far from it. Dutch Farang, Bavarian Hertog, January. Sounds nice. Well, January, I mean, it'll probably be like a winter wonderland there, won't it, in January? So good for you, mate. Bavaria is lovely. I don't know about Hertog. I don't know where that is. But Bavaria, if you were in Bavaria, you know, Munich is quite a nice city, but the surrounding Bavarian villages and all that beautiful stuff. And if you are there, may I recommend Neuschwanstein Castle. If you're in Munich, it's about 2 hours away from Munich. That was Mad King Ludwig's castle, and it's the one where Walt Disney seen it many, many years ago, and he was inspired to do the Sleeping Beauty castle. You know, wonderful stuff. Well, Neuschwanstein Castle, well worth a visit. Boatmonger, Carlsberg is Danish. Jesus Christ, we got all these various opinions about where these beers come from. You know, up to now. Thanks for that, anyway, mate. Just for Ang, it's already Friday. Don't worry. And no one overseas Dutch Farang agreed. I was waiting for confirmation from my boss that I could travel on specific date in space of about 5 hours while I waited. Price increased about €200. Oh my God. Stephen Forex, let's do our bit to help them. Eat more steak. I'm eating more steak. I'm eating more. I've got a bunch of rump steaks coming from Asda tomorrow. During the course of this live stream, a bit by bit, you'll know exactly what I've got coming. I mentioned Lamb's Navy rum. I've mentioned Bayer, Kronenberg, and now I'm mentioning steaks and jack of potatoes. Brent L, nice to hear from you, mate. I'm in Phnom Penh. I've hardly seen any tourist bars are open. They're more hungry than Thailand. Yeah, do you mean there's no tourists or the bars? The tourist bars are not actually open. I'm in Phnom Penh. I've hardly seen any tourist bars are open. They're more hungry than Thailand. Really? Well, you're hearing different things. And I've heard that Cambodia, the bars are open, but there's not many. This is low season in those. The same as Thailand. This is very, very low season at this moment in time, you see. So I can't comment on that, obviously. But I was saying, I mean, you know, if you're in Phnom Penh, you know, I don't know how well you know that place, but head down to the Riverside area. You know, you've got 13. I'm sure 136 Street is going to have a lot going on. Anyway. Gemini Star, Matthew Carter. Let's celebrate Eddie's return. Cheers, fella. Thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Here we go. Here's a good bit of advice, guys. You know how to save money. Here's a good bit of advice on how to save money from Gaz77. I don't pay for my pet. And what I do is dress up as a woman by wearing a dress and high heels, lipstick and a wig, and I put fake number plates in the car and then drive off without paying. Round of applause, mate. That's how you save money in these troubled times. David Mayer, many refugees in Romania. Well, I didn't say anything. No, they wouldn't be going. I don't think they'd be going to Romania, would they? You know, whatever's happened out there in that dreadful conflict. No, I didn't come across many refugees. Okay, Carl Travel do Bitcoin pyramid scam. Good luck. Go to Vegas. Okay, fine. Who's this? Tom Streeter. Would love to see some videos in the Philippines. Oh, excuse me. Would love to see some videos in the Philippines later this year. You know, now that you know borders are open, and hopefully it becomes really, really relaxed. There's other countries on the menu for me. I will visit Thailand again, but also I really want to make it to Cambodia because I haven't been there for a while. As for the Philippines, I wouldn't mind the Philippines. But I've heard, the last I heard, it's not as easy as it sounds. I think you've got to provide evidence of that booster shot, haven't you, as well? It's you know, we're not out of the woods yet as far as the antivirus, but Philippines, great country. You know, when the time's right, I'll be paying another visit to that place. Let's see. Singapore Dan. Gold is the only metal that maintains its value. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. Gaz77. Susan Boyle turns me on. Good for you, mate. There's no accounting for taste. Santorini, ever stayed in a banyan tree, Bangkok, Ed? My first port of call in December. The banyan tree, isn't that weird and wacky tree at Angkor Wat? No, I haven't heard of that one, but good for you, mate, anyway. David Coleman, that Indian guy is a rich prick. He even said he does not have any working class friends. It wouldn't surprise me. I am told, doesn't matter who's next PM, there will be buddies of Klaus Schwab. I don't actually know who that is. Yeah, Gaz77. Danish Bacon, do you want me to make videos of me dressing up as a woman to nick the petrol? Well, that'd be good. That'd probably go down well on YouTube. It'll also get you arrested as well. But it'll be fun while it lasts. Yeah, who's this? DWP. I might have whiskey. Okay, good for you. Daniel Mills, get yourself an air fryer. An air fryer? What's an air fryer? What is that? If you haven't already got one, they're really good. Sean Ricketts, Eddie came home for one day, time to book the next flight. No, I've done me traveling. I mean, at the start for this year, for the beginning of this year, I've been away for about 5 months. I've also done a couple of months, September and October. So I've done a fair bit of traveling. It's time to, sort out a few other things now. And anyway, I think the next time I'll be traveling will be later in the year. Kipax, welcome home steady. Okay, thank you. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Who's this? Nomad overseas. Yeah, folks buying gold. Don't buy paper gold. Only buy when you will have actual metal with you. A piece of paper saying you own X amount of gold is worthless in the real world. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, Jesus, this is not good, is it? David Coleman, the damn government in Canada, has started testing at the airports again. It's we're not out of the woods yet. As far as that Antivirus, I know it's not the stuff that's in the news at the moment, especially in Britain. We've got other things going on. In fact, the news that I've seen up to now, since I've been back, it doesn't even mention the Antivirus or anything like that. It's all about the political race to the top and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if if it resurfaces. Don't forget the winter isn't that far away. Chas Brown. Ed, did it work out well with traveling light to Romania? Yes, it did. I mean, that I showed it. I showed it on the screen here. It looks small, but I was managed to cram into the essential things that I need. And also, when I was traveling Romania, I also had a plastic bag with me, just a little plastic shopping bag where I could bung T-shirts in. And there was no problem with that, So I was carrying my backpack on, but I also had T-shirts, because you don't worry about them. You can bung them in a plastic bag. And I mean, there's no problem with that at all. So, yeah, it worked out really, really well. Matthew Cartwright, milk has gone up in price, but beer has stayed around the same price as before. Around the same price before. What's the hidden message there? I don't know what the hidden message is, but I'll tell you something. I mean, when I was in Romania, I was drinking Birra Moretti. I think it's Italian there, but it's quite reasonably priced in Romania. And I got to like that stuff. And yesterday, the coach, when I was getting the coach back here, the coach stopped off at Exeter, at Exeter. And, and I was changing coaches there to come home. And I was in Exeter for about an hour. There was about an hour's changeover. So when it stopped off in Exeter, this was last night. I thought, what am I going to do for an hour? So I asked someone, is there a pub nearby? And I went into a pub called the Monkey Suit. The Monkey Suit. It had a sign with a monkey in a suit. Yeah. It was called the Monkey Suit, this place. It was in Exeter. Yeah. And I went in there for a quick pint. And funny enough, it had Birra Moretti. And I said, a pint of Birra Moretti. And it was £5.20 for a pint. I know that's not cheap. You say around the same price. I don't know. £5.20 for a pint of beer is not bloody cheap, mate. It's not cheap. That's like an airport price, that is. David Coleman, I don't want a piece of paper saying that I have gold. That's the same as buying land on the moon. Yeah, good for you, mate. Stephen Forex, nothing like squeezing a banana in your hand there. Can't get that service with groceries there. Yeah, I know when they deliver from Asda and other places, these delivery people, I'm a bit reluctant to buy fresh fruit simply because, they'll pick the stuff that's about to go out of date, really. But having said that, I bought a bunch of bananas out of the co-op a couple of months ago, and they looked all right. When I got them home, they were all bad. So let me see now. Yeah, funny how things can disappear real fast, but yeah, absolutely. David Mayer, a day without steady Eddie is a day wasted. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Dutch Farang, Eddie, what do you think about the Thailand festival in the UK? There was a Thailand festival, wasn't it? I seen images of it. Maybe another YouTuber went there. It was a Barry. He went there, and it was where is that? Where is that? It's one of those places in England. Is it Peterborough or somewhere like I don't know where? One of those places that I've never been to in England. But it was a Thai festival in a nice little English countryside village sort of way. I don't know, look like fun. It looked like fun. Gemini Star, cost of living is outrageous. I haven't personally seen it really going up that well, but I'm tried not really to buy a great deal since I've been in England. David Philpott. So I asked you, hey mate, which new countries would you like to visit next? New countries. Well, to be honest with you, I like at least once a year. I like to include a place where I've never been before, and I've just done that with Romania. It was a nice, pleasant experience. It was a nice experience. A lot of good things about it. As for new countries, well, the older I'm getting now, I mean, I think I'm not focusing on other countries right now. I'm focusing on the ones that I already know. The likes of Thailand and Cambodia. So it's too early to say that just yet. Dutch Farang, normally 1,000 direct flight, now 2,500 to 4,000. Are you talking business class there or somewhere? I don't know. Steph Travesty, cheers. I'm drunk also to be. Steph Travesty, cheers. I'm drunk also to be honest. If I can call it like that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Good for you, mate. Be happy. Be happy. Gemini Star, news is propaganda. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Just for rank, Alcatraz. Poppycorn, that would be interesting. That are you going to do another movie night? Maybe a top 10 horror film. Hey, that would be interesting. Thanks for that, Poppycorn. Because this channel here, it's not essentially a travel channel. So yeah, that's a good suggestion. Thanks for that. We'll talk about more movies, about the best 10 horror films, or the best maybe the best 10 anything. Maybe the best 10 films in the 1970s, something like that. Yeah, we'll do stuff like that. Thanks for that suggestion anyway. Poppycorn, David Coleman, morning sex is great as you're not in prison. I don't know, man. I wouldn't know about that. Isn't it the case that a tranny got sent to a woman's prison because it was his right to go there, and he made 2 of the women pregnant? Oh my God Almighty! I know I'm not making that one up either. Gemini Star, BBC, load of BS, sorry to say that. Well, I'd say what, the BBC, I mean, I grew up with the BBC, and, because in the olden days, we only had 3 channels. We had BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. That's all we had when I was growing up. And the BBC, so many great programs come from the BBC. You think of all the classic comedies like, anything from Monty Python to Only Fools and Horses and all that. What wonderful stuff. But now that I don't know what's on the BBC, I just don't watch it anymore. I just don't watch it anymore. It's not the kind of stuff that I watch. Hey now, hello Eddie, welcome back, Mr. Spacewall. Thanks for your videos in Romania. Okay, thank you. Kevin Innes, Etihad charging 4,000 economy direct one way. Well, where does that cover? Gee, the flights can't have gone up that. I'm earning ridiculous. I haven't looked at the flights in the last few weeks, but maybe got to take another glance on them. Is that £4,000 economy direct one? Oh my God, that's absurd. David Mayer, the tourists in Romania were from what country? They were from Romania. I mean, funnily enough, I mean, you tend to find in a lot of countries, the most tourists are actually the locals, the ones who come from that country, people who come from the cities and who want to go down to the coast. I met people in the Black Sea coast who came from Bucharest. So the tourists in Romania, they were other Romanians, really, from other parts of the country. Terry Ledger, nice to hear from you, Terry. Good to have you back safe. Okay, nice to know. Terry is a big fan of he's a big fan of Turkey and Hizaranu. I met him out there, and his charming wife as well. And they love Turkey, and I know you were there in Turkey recently, Terry. So I'm sure that you had a great time. Nice to hear from you, mate. Let me see now. What's this? David Coleman, Germany is backing down to Russia. They have no gas for this winter. Oh, I heard all kinds of strange things going on. I heard old Vlad is shaking hands with Iran now because, isn't he looking at who running out of people to sell his gas to and make deals with? Jesus Christ. Mark Saunders, hi Eddie. What's the restaurant bar scene like in Bucharest? It's good. It is good, but it's good, especially for younger people. It's in the old town in Bucharest. I mean, it's for younger people, and there's a few families there, but it's not like raunchy, it's not like Pattaya. There's nowhere like Pattaya or even Bangkok, but there's lots of damn good restaurants there. I know that much. Steph Travesty, Carlsberg is from Belgium. I see it in Lidl. Okay, we'll take your word for it. D. Cook, Edward, have you still got your Flashes raincoat after dark in the shadows? Yeah, my dirty Mac. There we go. Thomas Hancock, I believe Cronenberg is French. Stephen Forax, all the essential food groups. All the essential food groups. Yeah. Let's see. I believe Cronenberg is friends. We're all having a debate here over where these lagers come from. I remember listening to a radio show many years ago and somebody asked the question, what are the 7 wonders of the world? And everyone phoned in with a different wonder of the world. And by the end of the program, there was bloody 18 of them, 18 wonders of the world. Jethopper, Chewy are doing flights to Melbourne, Florida for around 250 quid from Manchester, very cheap. Well, that sounds good. David Mayer, any vegetables in your order? I'll tell you what. The only bloody thing that I've got that I had left, I've got lots of tins of vegetables, carrots, mixed veg, and all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't really have to order them for tomorrow. So they were the only thing that I had left available. David Coleman, hey, Biden got the antivirus. Are you happy about that? Okay, I'll tell you what. It's an hour and 9 minutes. It's time for squeaky door time. Back in a minute. Oh, yo, back. Okay. Okay, thank you for your time anyway. Let's see, where are we now? Let's see. Delboy 1916. Welcome home, Eddie. Talking about lockdowns again at Christmas. Hopefully, no, we don't any of that. We don't even want to think about that. David Mayer. There are those who travel light and those who wish they had traveled light. I must admit, it was nice not having that bloody big suitcase there that I have. Pulling it around with me. But I think, you know, if I was going away to Thailand for months, I mean, I would still take the suitcase because there's things I need, like this laptop. I did miss this laptop. You know, I couldn't last very long without this. But yeah, it worked out well anyway. Stephen Forex, Beira is decent. I find it too gassy though. Aldi does Beira Mapelli. I don't know how they get away with it. Packaging identical as usual. I haven't really gotten into Aldi. I've shopped at Lidl's, but now I'm logged in. I have an account with Asda, so I'm getting used to the Asda deliveries. Who's this? I am Till. Did you hear Brian Flowers had his YouTube channel deleted? Yeah, I did, and he's not the only one. Somebody else, that is a Dan the Man. He had his channel deleted. There's all kinds of strange things going on with YouTube. You just have to be careful. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, YouTube is it's a business, isn't it? You know, they're ruled by the advertisers, and they obviously didn't like something about that, but these things happen, and that's why I have to be careful with my other channel. I've got my other channel up to like 42,000 subscribers. It's on about 12.5 million views, and I wouldn't like to think that I'd do something that would put that in jeopardy. So that's why I have to be careful. We've all got to be careful. YouTube's becoming very, very prudish. You have to be careful what you say or what you talk about. But yeah, I'm sure it must have been good about it. But as far as I know, Dan the Man, who also had his channel taken down, I think that's actually not the first. I think he's had that channel taken down before. And he admitted because of the nightlife videos. Now, I filmed things in Romania, in Bucharest. I even filmed some of the go-go dancers, beautiful. I'm sure you'd love to see them. But the fact is that YouTube is not very friendly towards stuff like that. So you just got to be realistic, really. You've got to be realistic. Anyway, look what I've got here. I've got a goblin tease made. Oh no, it's a hobgoblin. It's a hobgoblin. It's a ruby 5.2% beer. So let's give it a go. It's one of those real ales. So this is a hobgoblin, or a goblin tease made if you prefer. Yes. For those who are familiar with that old joke. Nice. Yeah, nice. In fact, it's so nice. I'm kind of wishing I had some bloody pork pies now. Pork pies would go down well with that. Anyway, where are we now? And Nomad Overseas. Oh, come to Dublin. In Temple Bar, you're likely to pay about €7 or €8 for a pint. I recommend to all people who have not visited there, avoid it like the plague. Your wallet will thank you for it. Yeah, I've heard from other even people in Ireland, and there's quite a few of them who watch this channel. They're probably angry at how why Why is the beer so expensive in that? It always has been. I mean, I first met a lot of Irish people when I was living in London in the late 1980s, and I worked on the runways at Heathrow Airport. I met a lot of Irish people. I made friends with a lot of them, but they were in London at the time simply because they couldn't get work in Ireland. It was not a good economy, and yet even then, even though Ireland was not a good economy and they couldn't get work there, they would still tell you that the price of beer in Ireland was very expensive then. So I don't know why that is. I really don't know why that is. Daniel Mills. Oh, well, best of luck to you, mate. I hope you recover well from it. Stephen Forex, I would like to visit Dublin one day, but it is famously expensive. Yeah, well, that's exactly what I've heard, mate. Exactly what I've heard. Shaggy Rogers, the steady is back. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Sniper Jules, Benny Hill is still a classic. Benny Hill's wonderful. He's absolutely wonderful. What was I watching the other day about Benny Hill? He was famously, he was rich. Well, he was obviously rich because his TV series was sold around the world. But apparently he lived a very, very frugal life. And I think that was well known about him. So as far as I know, he lived in a little flat, which was, not very well decorated. But the reason he lived it in Teddington is because it was close to it was within walking distance of Teddington Studios, who made his TV series. And his whole life really revolved around that TV series. And I don't think he had many luxuries in his life. And he died with many millions in the bank. And I think his nephews and whatever, his family got that money. So I don't think he wasn't like a spendthrift character. But wonderful talent. Wonderful talent. Absolutely amazing. Shaggy Rogers, Eddie, can we get a Bruce Lee impression? Not this time of night, mate. Not only would that bear some people's eardrums, I mean, it wouldn't make me very popular with the neighbours either. Redmondo, don't watch BBC. They're Gov's mouthpiece, utter bollocks, and a lot of them, they make us pay to watch. I absolutely. TV license, utter bollocks. They lost billions using non-advertisement. Yeah, I mean, come on, let's be honest. The TV license, you can still bloody get a fine, for not paying your TV license. You shouldn't be forced to. I don't watch the BBC. I don't watch them. And basically, there's all these rules. I mean, if you're watching live TV, then you have to pay for a license, and not just BBC. It can be if you watch live ITV, you have to pay for the BBC license as well. But that's so outdated. That TV license, forcing people to pay that in this day and age, load of bollocks. I agree with you. Gemini Star, Thai Festival in Manchester. Yeah, there was one. I have heard that, but also there was one recently in southern England somewhere. Redmondo 77. I can't stand them. I didn't watch TV, but I have to pay bollocks. You have to pay bollocks. As I understand, I mean, don't call me on this, but I think you don't have to have a TV license if you don't watch live TV. That's the way it works. But bear something in mind. If you're watching YouTube, if you're watching an established TV, TV like Sky TV on YouTube, that classes as live TV because it's an established network. So be careful. Just don't answer your door late at night. You know what I mean? Okay. Donald Boudreau. Steady Eddie returns to the land of Dracula, the legend, the man. Steady Eddie rules. Squeaky door, speckled them, Rogers and Dodgers. Thank you for that, Donald. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Let's explore Bangkok. Can't believe how busy the business lounge is at 7:40 a.m. on my second target. Cheers. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. I'm not very keen on Tiger, to be honest with you. Let's see, David Coleman. Yes, the Thai festival was in Manchester and even had a Ladyboy contest. God almighty, absolutely. Where I live, I mean, they had on a local theatre down here, they had a show with Thai Ladyboys. I mean, the type of people that you'd avoid if you're in Thailand, but I think it got packed out. It got packed out. Jason Day, how do you edit? Romania look great. That small town in particular. Yeah, that beautiful town of Sibiu. Sibiu, absolutely gorgeous little town. Really did like it there. And I will do a video of that. And I haven't done a video of it yet, but I will do one of that town. Lovely place. I think the Transylvania towns that I visited, that was actually my favorite in Romania. Dutch Varane, what country lays the origin of Asda? Well, as far as I know, it was always British, but then wasn't it bought by Walmart at one time? But now I think it's somebody else. David Coleman, Dan the man was a very intelligent YouTuber. Yeah, he did some really good videos, but I actually think it's not the first time he's had his channel taken down. Stephen Forex, it's British, but was bought by Walmart, then bought back by two brothers who were brick billionaires. Okay, thanks for that, mate. David Mayer, cat videos are YouTube's bread and butter. Oh, I know. I think they all jumped on the bandwagon of that, didn't they? When YouTube first started, someone discovered like cute cat videos. People like to watch cute cats, in the video. But I think the novelty's run out. Sometimes it pops up on your recommended, cute cat videos, 25 million views. But I think they all sort of like jumped on a bandwagon after a while. Stephen Forex, Hobgoblin, nice. Try the gold one. That's my favorite. Lovely. Yes, it is nice. You know what would go nice with that? Really nice. Bloody pork pies. I really wish that I had some pork pies here now. But like I said, I arrived back in this country last night, 24 hours ago. And just over 24 hours ago, with beer in the fridge, but no food. So I'm getting my delivery. I've got to be up early for it as well. My delivery's coming from Asda tomorrow. Matthew Cartwright, nice beer, Eddie. Cheers. Thanks for that, mate. Tom Streeter, are there any other platforms you can put the more risky videos on? There are. Yes, there are. But at the end of the day, YouTube is the one that rules, simply because YouTube is the bigger platform. I mean, YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the internet after Google, which owns YouTube. And at the end of the day, there's other. If you've got some risky videos, with girls getting the knockers out and that sort of stuff, you could put them on. There's one called BitChute. I think you can put them on BitChute. But have you seen the viewing figures for BitChute? They're pathetic. Nobody watches it. So at the end of the day, you just got to grit your teeth and accept that it is what it is. YouTube is the platform that you want, really. Shaggy Rogers, Eddie, how many lasagnas did you order? I think about six. About six the lasagnas. Ian UK, hi Eddie, you look well. So now you're back. Does this mean you'll be on the old fitness regime? To be honest with you, I've been jet lagged for the last 24 hours. I can't think of anything. I haven't made any plans to do anything right now, to be honest with you. But thanks anyway. Jason D, where to next, Eddie? Or are you going to wait till Thailand in November? I think Thailand, yeah, that sounds about right. The second one. I think Thailand, man, about November. That sounds more realistic. Stephen Forex, Benny Hill could have took some as well to the side and had the real experience. His whole life was what wandered around. I mean, come on, do you not think that Benny, somewhere along the lines, had fun with all those lovely girls? He obviously loved, girls. I mean, girls the way they used to look, with no tattoos and real knockers and nice hairy muffs and all that kind of stuff. Do you not think that somewhere along the line he had his fun with some of those ladies? It wouldn't surprise me. Dutch Farang. Eddie, what country you haven't gone to before? Would you like to go? I don't know. I'd still like to visit America, but it's where do you start really? I mean, such a vast place. I'd still like to visit America just to say that I've been there really. But I don't know. We'll have to say about that. I've been to a lot of the countries that I always wanted to go to. I know that much. A nomad overseas, it's expensive there because of pure greed. It seems to be built into Irish publicans. Go to any Irish bar in the world and expect the prices to be high. Yeah, they are higher, but there's something about an Irish bar wherever you go in the world, especially if you're in a place which is where you can't speak the language and it's all a bit alien to you. And then you see an Irish bar and you go into that Irish bar simply because of the familiarity. You know it's going to be more expensive. But, it's less of a risk than the other places you see. Dutch Farang. I go to English sports bars in foreign countries because they have leather seats, lots of TVs, and fries served miniature fry baskets. Good for you, mate. Good for you. David Coleman. I watch GB News live on YouTube. I like it. Yeah, it is good. It is good. It's good GB News. I like some of that. It got off to a shaky start, but there are things about it I like. I like Nigel Farage. I think Nigel Farage is bloody good. That's interesting. I am tilt. I called up BBC licensing, told them I don't watch iPlayer or live TV. They were really pleasant and friendly. Guy I spoke to said, "Fine, I don't need a license. I don't need a license. Okay, that's fine. Good for you. You sure the boys aren't coming round to your place to bash down your door? Okay, it does happen." David Coleman, sorry, cats that look like hell. I've seen that. There's one on the internet, isn't on YouTube. It's a video somewhere. A cat, and it's got distinctive markings, and it looks like bloody Hitler. It looks like a vicious bastard. Yeah, bit shoot. Okay. Just for now, no, please, not America. I would love to visit America because I'd like to see the cities where all my favorite movies were all filmed, San Francisco and New York and those places. But I do hear it's become ridiculously expensive at the tourists now. Very, very, very expensive. To eat and drink there. I think it's very expensive. Jason I've heard you mention Africa and South America before, Eddie. What was the easiest to do both? Well, I'd South America. I spent 6 months traveling around South America, from Brazil right down to Argentina, and then right the way back up through Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. And I actually found that to be a very, very easy place to travel, simply because crossing borders was easy. A lot of those countries will give you 60 days or even a 90-day visa. And there's so little hassle getting the visa in those countries, crossing borders and all of that, simply because they don't, they don't make you pay for the visa. And I actually found that was quite an easy place. In Africa, the only country I've been to in Africa was Ethiopia, which was which was interesting, but it was a bit disgusting as well, to be honest with you. David Mayer, do you use TripAdvisor? I don't really use TripAdvisor. Do you know when I want to ask a question about a certain place, I go on the internet and I just type it in, and then often TripAdvisor comes up, and they seem to have the information that you want. So you go on TripAdvisor, and you look at some of the information, what people have had to say about this certain issue, and then you look at the top, and you find that this page is about 6 years old. I mean, well, that's not bloody good here, is it? David Coleman, I have a Scottish comedian on GB News, and he's so damn funny, always making tranny jokes. Is he called? Is his name Lee Hurst or something like that? I know that he's a very, very good comedian. Bloody good stuff. Really, really good. I am Till. TV license guy said just renew my status every 2 years, so no visits or hassle. Okay, well that's good to hear anyway. David Mayer, you have to go to New York. Is it worth it? Well, I don't know. I think that place. Some people love that place and some people absolutely hate it. I've heard a few people who said they went to New York and they hated it. I don't know why. Hard Tulip, nice to have you. Welcome on to the good old UK, Eddie. How was your flight home? What airline did you travel with? I traveled with Wizz Air, which is a Hungarian airline. And it was very good. It was very, very good. I mean, going there was lots of families and screaming kids on the plane. But coming back, I mean, there's a lot of seats empty and it was quiet and it was very, very straightforward. From Bucharest to London, from Bucharest to Luton, only 3 hours, 15 minutes, which is a doddle. That's about a quarter of the journey from London to Bangkok. So very, very easy. And yeah, quite impressed with that airline. Very cheap, but very basic. Very basic. David Coleman, I love Peru. I'd go back in a minute. I like Peru. Spectacular. You know, the landscape. I climbed Machu Picchu and did all that sort of stuff. Wonderful stuff. But I think in terms of the raw edgeness, the real raw, a real South American classic and the landscape, I actually think Bolivia is the better one. Bolivia is the more raw edged and authentic place. Peru seems a little teensy weensy bit westernized. Good place, but yeah, definitely good place. Jason D. South and Central America is definitely on the list. Oh, I've also done the Central American countries. Well, not all of them. From Mexico into Belize, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. I crossed from Mexico into Belize and then flew from Belize to Costa Rica. And then got a light aircraft, a psychedelic painted light aircraft, over the volcanoes into Nicaragua, and then crossed back into Costa Rica, and then went back to Belize. And not the most intelligent way of doing it, because it was some years ago. Yeah, but the Central American countries, well worth a visit. Let's see. And Nomad overseas, David, if he's visiting there in a few days, he needs to go on the town, preferably with dual miniguns in the town. Not sure what country you're talking about there, mate. Okay, so of course over the chat anyway. Listen, I've been on for an hour and 35 minutes now. Now, this live stream was just to say hello to everyone. I haven't actually done a live stream on this channel, the Steady Eddie Live, for a month. But I will be doing regular live streams, and I will try and advertise them. In future, I will try and advertise in future, not just turn up, but there will be some regular live streams. As many of you will know, the time slot that I really, really like, is 10 o'clock in the evening, weekdays. So I'll be doing plenty of those anyway. And we'll talk about travel. We'll also talk about news. There's lots of subjects to talk. This is not just essentially a travel channel. We will talk about other subjects as well. Maybe what's happening in the news. Whatever we fancy, really. Ion Tilt, Top Gear, traveling through Argentina was a classic. I've never seen that episode, but I've traveled through Argentina. I spent a month traveling through Argentina, and I must admit, I thought that was a little bit disappointing, that one, because I haven't spent time in Brazil. I mean, Brazil, the difference between Brazil and Argentina it's a big difference. Argentina is probably the safest country, safer of the countries, but Brazil is far more colourful. I mean, and you notice even the girls in Brazil, they dress in a way where they show as much flesh as possible. And it's the Brazilian way, you know, the cleavage and everything. And then you go into Argentina, and it's very, very different. All the girls are covered up well, and it seems very, very conservative. And also, I thought the landscape in Argentina, I mean, they call it when you're traveling through on a bus, they call it the Pampas. Well, another way of saying that is it's a very, very flat landscape. But I suppose when you get to, I got down as far as Bariloche, which is a very like alpine sort of town, but it just didn't seem to be the essential South America, really. And one thing about the bus travel in Argentina, those buses they were like first world travel, you know, really luxurious buses. And another thing that was interesting about Argentina, I found, when you're traveling through that country, and some of those journeys can be 18 hours, 20 hours, hell of a journey. When you were traveling that length of time through Argentina, they've got good roads and they've got a good bus service, but the roads are so empty. You compare a cramped little country like Britain. I mean, there's no such things as empty roads, you know, unless you're going in the middle of the night. Whereas Argentina, you know, you travel on those big roads, and there's hardly see any other traffic. Because don't forget, Argentina, I don't know what the statistics are now, but when I travel through there, I think the statistics in Argentina, I think that it's the 8th biggest country in the world, but they have a population of about 43 million, and about 20 million of those live in Buenos Aires, the one city. So the rest of the country is very sparsely populated. So but it didn't really do it for me, that country, to be honest. I far prefer Brazil. Travis Davola, America is awesome. I've only been to USA and Vietnam, Thailand. Definitely next and top of the list. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Hard Tulip. Eddie, are you afraid of flying? What's your scariest flying experience? Any aircraft? No, I'm not afraid of flying at all. No problem with that. I tend to find long haul journeys are laborious simply because they are so long. And, you know, I have a sort of premenstrual tension before. I know that sounds dreadful, but I just want to get the nasty ordeal out of the way with. But I've got no fear of flying. It's just that, you know, it can be a bit boring, to be honest with you. David Mayer, good night, Ed. Okay, good night. Thank you. God bless you. Thanks for turning up anyway, mate. Cheers. David Coleman, hey guys, I had a woman die in a plane out of Jamaica. The plane had to return to take off the body. No joke. Oh God, that's dreadful. David Coleman, she had a heart attack. Does happen, mate. Does happen. Hard Tulip. I was on an air flight in 2017 from Bangkok to Moscow. Crazy European woman, drunk and on drugs, shouting at Russians and causing a nuisance. Really? Okay. Let me see now. Okay, I'm going to finish this soon. David Mahoney, I want every flight to be just born. Okay, so I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes now. This is just a coming back stream, a jet lag stream. What we'll do on this channel, I'll be doing regular live streams on this channel, regular live streams. But we'll be talking about other stuff. There's plenty to talk about. There's tons. I'll go through the news and we'll talk about other subjects, other things that are fun. Travel is a main subject, but that's like for the other channel. On this one, we'll talk about other things as well. So we'll have a bit of fun. But in the meantime, I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes now. So I will say thanks for turning up anyway. I know it's a bit late, but thanks for turning up. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, and I'll be back very, very soon. And if I don't see it over the weekend, I will be doing other streams over the weekend. I will be doing them, but if I don't manage to catch up with you, then I'll definitely see it. Because remember, through the week, 10 o'clock, Monday, weekdays, evenings, that's my favourite time. So hopefully I'll see you then. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you soon. Cheers.